So these games are probably gonna be recorded. So yeah. All right. So we did see these players earlier in Swiss. Dejan rocking the Mega Floette in the rain, while Danielle Elle here using that Mega Feraligatr and Mega Scizor. That's both of these are actually rain teams. This will be a rain war. I don't think either of these players are gonna be wanting for rain. This is going to be one wet match. So let's see how they navigate this. Both these players so far have been very good. Fingers crossed we're gonna see a hell of a match. And I really can't wait to see how this one turns out. And just like that, game 1 is about to commence. So we have Esburr and Elle. Esburr Dejan and Elle Danielle. So Elle will be sending out his Archaludon and his Sneasler first, while Dejan will also be sending out with the same level of oppression with a Basculegion and Archaludon combo. Both players have opted to have Archaludon on their teams, or on their leads rather, and is going to be a hell of a match. Well, we see that on Elle's side, the Archaludon, actually, they have very similar sets. Except, Elle's has Aura Sphere over Flash Cannon, while Dejan's has Flash Cannon over Aura Sphere. And we will be seeing that Dejan will be switching out his Archaludon first and sending out Pelipper. At the same time, the rain started, but Sneasler here on Elle's side just protecting itself. And, well, Basculegion going for a flip turn on the Sneasler, unfortunately protecting itself. Not able to do much. Aura Sphere will be coming from that Archaludon and does practically nothing to that Pelipper. A good read by Dejan, but you've essentially given the Archaludon here, enabled its Electro Shots in the rain. Both your Pokemon, both of Dejan's Pokemon appear to be, well, they appear to be wet. They're water types. So they're very vulnerable right now to any Electro Shot that the Archaludon might be opting to send out. But yeah, it's remains to be seen how it's going to be played out. But Sneasler, on the other hand, yeah, okay, I was about to comment something on the Sneasler, but he sends it out. Instead, swaps it in for the Sinistra. Flip turn will be coming into the Sinistra rather than the Sneasler. And Dejan will be pulling his Basculegion out. And in its place, he's probably going to send out, I'm not sure if it's the Archaludon, but yes, it will be the Archaludon. But this is going to be a very precarious situation, considering that the opposing Archaludon can now just go for the Electro Shot straight into the Pelipper. But this Pelipper, again, yeah, it did its job. It got the Tailwind up. It does have a Citrus Berry. I don't think that's going to help very much against this Archaludon. Yeah, it just goes down there to the Electro Shot. Unfortunately. Dejan's gonna have to think of out here because, well, the Archaludon, the opposing team's gotten a head start already. Instead, Dejan will be sending out his Sinistra, revealing that he has no Megas. He did not bring his Mega Floette this time around. Rather than opting for a Mega Pokemon, Dejan appears to have completely just forgone it and went, okay, I'm just gonna fight in the rain and I'm gonna do whatever I can. I mean, to be fair, Archaludon on its own can be considered a Mega in and of itself. Anyway, Dejan using Rage Powder here on his own Sinistra, but we see that his Archaludon appears to be faster than Elle's Archaludon. And yeah, both, well, here we go, the Electro Shot going into the opposing Sinistra though. But again, it's resisted, not doing too much. Elle's Sinistra manages to heal itself a little with a little bit of that Citrus Berry heal. On the other hand, the opposing Archaludon on L's side just manages to also use another Electro Shot. This will be the second boost it's gonna gain. And Rage Powder into the Sinistcha resisted, however small though. But it will be doubled into by Elle, reading that completely, just going for the Sinistcha. Ooh, unfortunate special defense drop there. But yeah, the Archaludons, well, they're gonna be able to do massive amounts of damage towards each other given the chance, but I don't think it'll be enough to KO the other. We do know that Dejan's Archaludon is going to be a little bit faster, but that probably tells us that Elle's Archaludon is a little bit bulkier. So just how much bulkier, that's the question. And we do know that the Archaludon on Elle's side is at +2. At +1, that just doesn't do enough damage, unfortunately. Despite... Oh, wait. Life Dew coming from... The heals, though. Sinistcha on Dejan's side using Life Dew to take it out. Or just to heal up. Dragon Pulse on the opposing... On Elle's Dragon... Sorry, I'm saying Archaludon a lot. So, Elle's Archaludon goes for Dragon Pulse straight into Dejan's Sinistcha, takes it out, and then allows Elle's own Sinistcha to use Trick Room on this turn. Unfortunately for this Basculegion who has a Choice Scarf, it's gonna be a lot slower, and remember that Tailwind is in fact up on Dejan's side of the field. So Dejan is in an uphill battle here. With Trick Room up, not only is he slow, but he's significantly slower just because of the Tailwind. Electro Shot will be coming from that Archaludon on Elle's side though. But the question is it gonna attack into the Archaludon or into the Basculegion? And it goes straight for the Basculegion, KOing it almost instantly. But yeah, Rage Powder is gonna come from Dejan's own. No, Rage Powder is gonna attract that Dragon Pulse. Unfortunately, with just +1, it just doesn't do enough damage. The Sinistcha on Elle's side manages to cling on with just a small amount of HP. And this Archaludon is unfortunately gonna have to do a 1v4 in the Trick Room. And like I said earlier, Dejan's Archaludon is just that little bit faster, so it might not be able to do much here. We know that Elle's Archaludon has Aura Sphere, and yeah, it does go for the Aura Sphere at +2 or +3 and just knocks it out. And that secures game 1 for Elle. Okay. Right, both players are ready. They want to just get into game 2. So, yeah, like we saw earlier, both of these players are just keen on using their Archaludons to take advantage of everything. Elle did not reveal their last Pokemon in the last game. This may have Dejan change his mind on not bringing the Mega Floette just to take care of that Archaludon, but the threat of the Sneasler, the opposing Sneasler, is just too much. So I can definitely see that they don't exactly want to pull out everything from the get-go. Again, both players are incredible players, so let's see. Elle leading once again with Archaludon and Sneasler. And Dejan here, Esburr just going straight for the Floette and the Basculegion. Now the thing is, I believe this Sneasler has Fake Out. Not exactly what your Floette wants to see from the get-go. But we do also know that the opposing Archaludon has no Flash Cannon, relying almost completely on the Sneasler to take care of any Floettes. Which now leaves us in a pretty good position to say that the Basculegion is probably going to be able to do a lot of damage here. The Fake Out pressure is outstanding, but Dejan will be Mega Evolving his Floette here. And what a magnificent Mega Evolution it is, but will we be seeing a Fake Out from that Sneasler? We will not. Instead, the Basculegion is going straight for the Wave Crash into the Sneasler, however, not able to take it out. Dazzling Gleam from the Floette, however, goes straight into the Sneasler and the Scizor. This Sneasler is not very fast. Huh. How unfortunate. But yeah, Basculegion and Floette just taking care of that Sneasler on turn 1. Hospitality does come out from the incoming Sinistra, and Floette here kind of in trouble with Mega Scizor here, pressuring it completely. But well, we do know that 2 of the Dejan's Pokemon could possibly be in the back to resist this incoming Bullet Punch, but he could be in trouble here if that Sinistra just goes for instant Rage Powder. And yeah, we will be seeing that the Mega Scizor will be Mega Evolving into Mega Scizor here. And yeah, it's probably going to go straight for a... Oh, okay. So Moonblast, there is no Bullet Punch here, so are we going to be seeing a Swords Dance? Yeah, we will be seeing Swords Dance come out from that Mega Scizor, allowing it to punch even harder. It's going to guarantee the KO on this Mega Floette practically, just so long as it gets the Bullet Punch in. But the opposing Sinistra on the Dejan side of the field can very much easily just go for a Rage Powder, but as to how many Rage Powders it's going to be able to use, it's going to be quite limited considering this Scizor is just using Swords Dance. I mean, it could also go for Swords Dance once more. There's really not much it can do. Considering that the Scizor is now at +2, it can go for a +4, or it can just go straight for the Bullet Punch. On the other hand, Floette here is kind of in a pickle. It's gonna need to do some damage. Elle here, seeing that, okay, my Sinistra doesn't really have much to do here. It's already set up the Trick Room. Switches it out and sends in Archaludon instead. Dejan, seeing the threat of the Bullet Punch, allows his Sinistra to just take it. Sadly though, that Sinistra just may not have enough in it. It just gets extremely hurt by that Bullet Punch. Now, the Mega Scizor in a very good position to just go for another Swords Dance, or again, just attack. Now, we also know that the Archaludon on L side of the field, again, it does not have Flash Cannon. It does not have any means to take out this Floette. L is going to have to take out this Floette using that Scizor, considering that Sneasler has already gone down, and Trick Room is up. Floette isn't exactly the fastest Pokemon. We know that Dejan's Floette is relatively fast for most Floettes though. Now, Archaludon will be using Protect here. L seeing that, okay, I think I want to stall this out a little. Sinistra going for a Rage Powder once more. Probably gonna eat up another Bullet Punch and get KO'd for its trouble here. But the real question is, what is this Mega Floette trying to do? It will be using Moonblast straight into the Scizor, but how much damage is this gonna do? It barely takes out 40%, but any damage is good damage, especially against something as so threatening as a Mega Scizor onto your own Mega Floette. But again, we have to think about the turns here. Dejan will be sending out his Sneasler. He will have Fake Out pressure this time around. But the real question here is, even with the Fake Out pressure, is it going to be enough? Is he going to be able to do anything after this? Elle seeing, yeah, okay, my Scizor needs a little help. Sends in Sinistра to heal it up even just a little more. Sneasler will be faking out into the Scizor, and we'll probably be seeing a follow-up here from Floette with a Moonblast. Yeah, we will be seeing it. It goes into the Sinistra. Dejan just slowly taking out everything around the Scizor to make sure that he can deal with the Scizor a little later on. He probably does have a plan for the Scizor, and it most likely doesn't involve Floette here. So this will be the final turn of Trick Room. Dejan will be free to just use Protect on both of his Pokemon. However, this also gives the opposing Scizor the ability to just, okay, he's probably gonna protect both of his Pokemon. I'm gonna go for a Swords Dance here, and it's gonna be sweet. So yeah, Dejan will be going for a Protect on both of his Pokemon. And yeah, Elle does not capitalize on it. Instead, he goes for a Bullet Punch and a Dragon Pulse, doubling into the Sneasler slot. So the Twisted Dimensions have returned to normal. This Archaludon is now slower, the Sneasler is now faster, but nothing has changed for this Scizor. Scizor will still be able to do massive amounts of damage with Bullet Punch because of priority. But again, we've only seen that this Scizor may or may not be able to KO the Basculegion that's still in the back. And Archaludon will be protecting here, but who is the Scizor attempting to hit? And it goes straight for the Sneasler. Sneasler survives with that Focus Sash. Crazy, crazy work. Goes for close combat onto the Archaludon, unfortunately. And Dazzling Gleam from the float, a very safe option, however, not safe enough, I think. So, yeah, this Sneasler might be on its last legs, but it's still going to be able to get one attack off here. Now, I'm pretty positive that this can still go in either of these trainers' directions. So, yeah, fingers crossed, whoever you're rooting for, they're both very good. This is a fantastic game so far. Archaludon will be going for a double protect, however, and Bullet Punch suddenly goes into the Floette, KOing it. Guaranteed, practically. But now, who's the Sneasler gonna go for? Goes for the close combat into the Mega Scizor. Will it be able to KO it? No, it does not. This Archaludon is just gonna run away with the game at this point. But I'm fairly positive that Dejan has it out here with that Basculegion. It is Scarfed, but not only is it Scarfed, it still also has priority. If it goes for the Aqua Jet into the Scizor, it may be enough to KO it, while the Sneasler goes for the close combat into the Archaludon. But again, this actually begs the question, are they going to protect? Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? If the Sneasler goes down here, Basculegion is going to be stuck with nothing but Aqua Jet against that Archaludon. Basculegion has to KO this Scizor, but at the same time, Sneasler has to get Archaludon low enough to actually KO it. So we will be seeing a protect from both of the key pieces. And no, everyone is using protect except just to scout out what this Basculegion wants to do. And it wants to use Last Respects. This Scizor is now free to just use Bullet Punch into the Sneasler, while Basculegion will have nothing much to do. But the question is, will +2 Bullet Punch be able to KO Basculegion, provided Basculegion KOs Archaludon on this turn? Bullet Punch is always going to go first. So there we go, we see that Bullet Punch will take out Sneasler. But Last Respects, will it be able to take out the Scizor? Yes, it does. I mean, a 10 HP, but what is this? Yeah, the Archaludon just goes straight for the Dragon Pulse here. And takes out about half of its HP. Or half of its remaining HP, but the question is, with stamina up, and, well, let's see. The Archaludon does not have the boost. And we can see that Last Respects will now be at the base power of 200. It's just trying to buy this time, heal up as much of its HP as it can with all of these stalled out protects, getting that leftovers heal. But again, we don't know. At +1 defense, will it be able to KO? No, it's gonna be at +1 after the Last Respects boost. But the real question is, will Dragon Pulse be able to KO it? Or will Last Respects be able to chip it enough? And yeah, Last Respects at base 200, it's just gonna take out that Archaludon no problem apparently. And we will be seeing a game 3. Again, fantastic game, incredible game from both players. Game 3 is about to begin. Alright, so both players are making the adjustments as needed. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. Both players are kind of just kicking ass actually. Kinda like this. I hope this keeps up. Okay. So game 3 will now be beginning. So we will be seeing Elle lead with Sinistcha and Scizor here, leading, both of them leading with their Megas. Floette and Basculegion here. Very oppressive lead on both sides, but that Scizor edging out the Floette here. Very dicey for Dejan. Sorry, Milan just messaged me. But yeah, very dicey here for Dejan, considering that the Basculegion doesn't have any of those Last Respects boosts, and the Sinistcha on L side can just use Rage Powder here to attract anything that's going on to protect that Scizor. But yeah, the real question is, we know that Mega Scizor can KO Floette after +2, but I'm not sure about the calcs here. Will a single Bullet Punch just naturally KO it? And we're about to find out. And it does not. Unfortunately, it does not. Last Respects from Basculegion, extremely risky here on Dejan's side. Going for a unboosted, but just enough to KO the Sinistcha. I'm not sure if that was by divine intervention or by actual calculation, but the Floette manages to survive completely. But yeah, Archaludon will be coming out on L side of the field. Floette a little worse for wear, but I'm pretty sure Floette can manage another hit without going down, or well, it can manage to do a hit before it manages to go down, unless this Scizor definitely has other plans. And well, Basculegion here, the interesting thing is, this Archaludon can just Electro Shot into the Basculegion while Scizor switches out into the Pelipper. So, again, yeah, we do see that Bullet Punch goes into the Basculegion, and we know that Basculegion is stuck on Last Respects. And yeah, it does not go for... Oh, okay, Moonblast goes into the Archaludon, almost takes it out. Gets a stamina boost for all of its troubles. The Dragon Pulse comes out from the Archaludon as well. Kind of a missed target opportunity here. But yeah, the Last Respects boost is going to be enough actually. Even if it's just a +1, I think it may be enough to take out the Archaludon. This Scizor, on the other hand, we can probably surmise that Elle did not bring the Pelipper to this match. considering that it would have been very easy to just switch in the Pelipper while taking out the Basque Legion here. Sinistcha will be coming in for Floette. No, for Floette to have some of that matcha. Floette will be using Protect, allowing it to just survive another turn. Bullet Punch goes into the Floette. Unfortunately, not doing as much damage as we'd like with that Protect. But a critical hit actually manages to inch out just the one-hit KO on this Sinistcha on the next hit. So Sinistcha here in a very good position to just use Rage Powder. However, Floette on the other hand, this could be extremely difficult on Floette, but we know that Dejan might be saving that Basque Legion for the end game, considering that it does survive anything the Scizor can do to it, resisting anything. So the Archaludon here might be the key. Again, we're not sure if the Pelipper is in the back of Elle's team. It could very much be the Sneasler once more. We did not see the Feraligatr in this set, but okay. Sinistcha will be using Rage Powder to attract any Bullet Punches and everything else that L side of the field can toss out. But double critical hits, unfortunately, it's just too much. But Moonblast will be coming from the Floette into the Scizor, bringing it down to just a very nice HP. Dragon Pulse unfortunately bounces off the Floette, being immune to Dragon type moves because it is a Fairy type. It is healing nice and slowly, but this allows Dejan to bring in either his 4th Pokemon or the Basque Legion to take care of this Mega Scizor. And yeah, it is going to be the Sneasler. So Sneasler in a very good opportunity here to just punch through the Archaludon. At the same time, we know that at +2, the Scizor can take out the Sneasler. But both Archaludon and Scizor are in very, very precarious positions with their HP stats. Both Pokemon on L side opting to Protect, trying to scout out what the Sneasler is going to do, not wanting to get any of that fake out pressure in. So Dazzling Gleam from the Floette, wanting to just do as much damage as it can, clean safe damage. I don't blame him. But yeah, Scizor at a very good number. If only 5-4 was as good as 6-7, but yeah. Sneasler here, it's probably itching to close combat something, honestly. It's probably gonna click close combat, but into who, we don't know. The Floette, it can very much just click Protect here. It's probably gonna click Protect. It's the safest move Dejan can do. He probably want to use Protect. He does use Protect here, saving himself from anything that Scizor is gonna do. And Bullet Punch will be punching straight into that Protect, doing no damage at all. Sneasler punching that Scizor straight in the face using close combat. It doesn't care too much. It does still have its focus out now. The real question is, what is this Archaludon planning to do? And it goes for the Dragon Pulse. It will be putting Sneasler down to the red, but Sneasler is gonna be able to punch through with another close combat, actually. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind too much the Pelipper being there. His Choice Scarf Basque Legion is still in the back. So this Pelipper might want to use Tailwind while it still can. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that Sneasler is looking... I think the Sneasler here is thinking about a very, very funny move. And it involves... Oh, okay. So the Archaludon goes for the Protect. And most likely, this Pelipper will go for... It's probably gonna go for... Oh, okay. Poison. It's gonna go for the Tailwind. Dazzling Gleam may be the safest option here. And yes, Dejan does go for the Dazzling Gleam. But will this be enough to take out the Pelipper? Yes, it is. The Pelipper goes down, unable to use Tailwind. Now this lone Archaludon is gonna have to fight an onslaught of opponents. is gonna have to probably take a close combat from this Sneasler, along with a Moonblast from this Floette on this turn. It's gonna have to take both of those before it can do any damage. And even if it manages to take out one of them, the Basculegion in the back is gonna make short work of it using Last Respects, even Wave Crash in the rain. So Sneasler will be going for close combat here. And it is just enough, even at +1, that Archaludon was just not able to do much. And with that being said, Game 3 will be going to Dejan. Esburr, Grizzlord D. Dejan Favilla will be going to Grand Finals. That was awesome.